Hi guys, Jimbo here, the driving test guy in New South Wales, helping you pass your New South Wales P1 driving test first go, hopefully. Okay folks, well, it's July and we're in lockdown with COVID again. So in June we started with lockdown light and now we're in lockdown tight. Okay guys, it's been a few weeks since I've had a video out again because I have been moving. I've now completely moved. I'm in my new place now, so it's all steam ahead with some new videos. You can see my kitchen looked like this, and now it looks like this. But it's still not complete because of this lockdown that we're in. The tradies haven't been able to come in and finish the tiling and a few other jobs. Hopefully get that done in a few weeks, but I'm here now and that's great. Okay, let's talk about lockdown in Greater Sydney and driving lessons. Now, I've got a post here from one of my viewers, from Fiona. Fiona says, "Thank you, Jimbo. Due to COVID restrictions, my daughter couldn't have any driving lessons before her test. So we watched all your videos and she passed first go." Now, I love hearing those stories, first go stories. Okay, so the question comes up is, am I allowed to give and are you allowed to have paid driving lessons during lockdown? Now, in June, we had lockdown light when everyone was out shopping still, going to parties and that and visiting, and there were some restrictions in. Now, one of the exemptions from lockdown was you're allowed to leave the house if you were doing something related to education that couldn't be done at home. So that's the loophole that instructors used. And Transport for New South Wales did put out a document, and here it is on the screen. And you can see down there, they allowed driving lessons and safer driver course and a few other things. Note there, they didn't actually mention driving tests. They actually stopped driving tests, but they said you can have driving lessons. So that's a bit weird, but that's another issue. Now, so instructors can continue on doing driving lessons because it's an education that can't be done at home. Great. So we continue on doing lessons, we all masked up, wiping the car down, all that stuff. So we come to July 19, we're now in lockdown tight with increased stay-at-home restrictions. And now we have the question again, are we still allowed to do driving lessons, paid driving lessons, during this lockdown tight? There's been no new publication from Transport New South Wales of whether it's permissible or not. So the ADTA, which is my association, contacted Transport for New South Wales, and the reply back from ADTA from Transport is as follows. The Sydney lockdown has continued into a fourth week and the conditions have been tightened even further. Yeah, we got that. On your behalf, we have approached Transport for New South Wales for direction about conducting driver training in the Greater Sydney region. This morning, we received their direction. That is for members to follow the Department of Health advice. Well, Department of Health advice didn't actually address driver trainers. Okay, so that's that first point. We have conferred with the Service New South Wales COVID line. Now, Service New South Wales is a different department to Transport for New South Wales. Service New South Wales is just a shop front for Transport for New South Wales. And it is their opinion that driver training is not education as defined in the health orders. Okay, so we have Transport for New South Wales, the actual government regulator, sets the rules for driver training, saying follow the health rules. Okay, now the health rules don't actually target driver training, so that's of no help. And then we have Service New South Wales, someone on the phone, a customer service rep, with their opinion, telling ADTA that driving lessons is not education. Okay, so from that, we're really still nowhere. There is no official publication from Transport for New South Wales, which actually is the regulator that sets the rules for driver training. They've just said follow the health rules. Now, the health rules don't actually target driver training. They just basically say education. Service New South Wales, which is the shop front for Transport for New South Wales, has said that driver training is not education as defined in the health orders. Now, that's just an opinion, nothing official. Okay, so at the end of the day, I think the decision whether to do driving lessons or not is going to be your choice, and whether your instructor is happy to do them or not. There's nothing official that targets driving lessons. You basically need to interpret all the health orders. Me personally, I think the health orders are saying to me, stay home. Okay, I think that's sensible. Driving lessons in the short term are certainly not essential for 99.99% of customers. Waiting a few weeks to get your P's is certainly, you know, it's going to be a pain, but it's not life or death for most people. So I would say, guys, look, stay home. Don't put pressure on your instructor to work. Let this settle. Get lockdown over and then resume and get back to normal as soon as we can. Okay, guys, so that's all I have for you today. This really relates to the Greater Sydney area as far as driving lessons and the lockdown tight. Hope you all are staying well, and always stay safe.